Well, it's so great to talk with you all about the docuseries Lolla, the story of Lollapalooza, and thank you all for being here at Sundance. This is a phenomenal docuseries because it's not just about Lolla, it is a rock doc in the best way possible. Why did you want to show the bigger picture and really tell the rock history that led up to everything that Lolla is and became?
Well, the thing that was really interesting to us immediately was that Lollapalooza is a living, breathing thing. It's not, we just want to put on a concert to make money. It was very much Perry, born out of Perry and Jane's Addiction, and his last year with Jane's Addiction at the time, and it was something that had a real story behind it. As Perry's life went, Lollapalooza went as well, and it ebbed and flowed, and it just continued to evolve over time and breaking some of the most phenomenal art and music that the world has ever seen. And to be able to sustain that over 30 years was just such an intriguing thing for us at Fun Meter.
How did you define some of those key moments of so many bands, so many memories, and how did you even find footage for all of this stuff? How did you distill down 30 plus years of Lollapalooza?
I mean, as everybody knows who's ever tried to make a documentary, you're whittling down, and to be at a point where we start with so much great, rich material, and like for us to be able to see some of those early, that first 91, like on 16 millimeter footage that no one had ever seen before, Ice-T performing Cop Killer, to a sea of white kids, wearing Slayer shirts, right? As Ice-T puts it in our first episode. We just, we were always in that, how do we make those decisions? And it's one of those, you keep building it. And the main thing for us is like making sure that the thread of the story, the heart of what we're trying to tell, is evident in every single performance and every single moment throughout the series. And, as James said, and we all know, like, this was a surprise. Lollapalooza wasn't first imagined to become the festival that it's become for 30 years. This was a farewell tour for Jane's Addiction. And to see it happen the way it's evolved has been one of the things that we always wanted to make sure we started with the beginning, we got to the end, and there are key things that we had to hit, and then everything else was just, plentiful of riches.
Perry, was it surprising to you to revisit some of this footage, or were there moments that you remember differently, or what were some of the memories that, feelings that drummed up in you as you looked back at some of these moments?
Personally, I don't remember a lot of those moments. So I saw them for the first time on screen. I'm like, wow, it looks really fun. I'm really glad that it all went well.
You're backstage or something, and
Yeah, no, these guys were able to drum up. I can imagine how you would garner the footage, but what they're not telling you is it's almost like how do you explain trying to get clearance from every artist's manager and themselves. You've got 30 years worth of, it became 8 stages, 150 acts, on a weekend. How do you get clearance for all that? And the heaviest thing about it all is this was before the internet. This was before cell phones. So if there's any footage at all, you have to kind of find someone who was like a shutterbug and just loved taking pictures. There weren't that many of us. I'm not going to include myself. I wasn't a shutterbug at all. As I say, I don't remember half of it. So when I see this stuff, I'm honored, and I'm honored to be a part of what went down. It's as if, it was meant to be here on Earth. The name itself, it is a wonder that it all happened. It was allowed to happen, In fact, you know, in later years, we were shut down because of our politics. And we don't really go into that in this documentary, but honest truth is, you know, there were years that we got shut down for being too political. The venues heard we were coming with some heavy stuff, and they're like, no, they can't come here, you know? Like, I can see now clearly Steve-O and the cops waiting for Steve-O to get off stage because he's, I don't know, he's whipping out his cock. And, you know, there's some underage, you know, people in the audience that just love, what's her name? Dumbass, what was her name?
Jackass.
Jackass. You know what I mean?
That's the sequel. Yeah.
That's the sequel. No, we can go on and on and on. And the best part about it all to me is I really feel like we've only just begun. This documentary has really widened our circle of influence. People now see where we're coming from, and they want it to come to their community next. And so that's given us new life, new breathing, because their storytelling is fierce.
Even by episode 2, you have like 92, 93, you have people questioning, did Lolla lose its way? Are you guys selling out? And you must have been hearing those questions for decades now. What do you think is, you know, especially now that you have some of the biggest artists, pop stars in the world headlining Lollapalooza, what do you say to those people, and how do you still feel it has the identity that it had in 91?
Well, certainly not. But, you know, you have to age, let's just say this, you have to age with grace, and then you'll be okay in life. If you're gonna fight age, you're gonna fight to try to be what you were. What I like to do is, I like to know now, this is what we've become, what can we do with it? So now we can widen our circle of influence to go to places and really do some healing. We can, you know what I mean? We show up in Brazil, man, we aim to heal. We want to go in there unified, and we've got the internet now. You know, you can certainly say like, well, it's all a big sellout now. It's just so easy. You know, you can just see it on the internet. Yeah, but also we can now reach to people that we couldn't have reached. So I like to just take whatever situation we're in and see how we can just pull out wonders and miracles out of that.
It's like the most positive human being I think on the planet.
Yeah,
I'm serious. Like everything you say, you know, just exudes that, and I think we saw that at the very beginning since '91. Like, you know, just that degree of energy and like thought process. It's so unique and creative and inspiring.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Got lucky.
Well, thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it, and this is a terrific series.
Thank you so much. It's going to be on Paramount Plus
Very soon.
later on this year, all 3 episodes.